This week on the Garden Tarts.
Every episode, one or both of us have a question for Bono over whiskey and cake. It could happen.
It's
If we
an
sat,
audience.
it's a cat butt. If we sat down with Bono, how awesome would that be? But you know what? The thing is that I don't think we've asked that question in a while. Bono, if you're listening, can we please? We'll take you there. You don't have to worry about it. We'll take you out for whiskey and cake.
Hey, Hal.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm doing okay over here. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Okay, we're recording on Sunday, April 19th. If you're listening, it is on or after Wednesday, April 22nd, 2026. This is season 8, episode 15.
And you're listening to Kissing Lips and Breaking Hearts with the Garden Tarts. Please
Welcome.
take a moment thank you. Please take a moment to subscribe, hit like, share this with a friend, all the things. Because it's working. Keep doing it, y'all. It's working. Yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone who is listening because we're doing really well because of you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. And I have some I don't think exciting is the right news, but I have some stats I wanted to share with you on here.
Okay.
Most of our listeners are here in USA, and that hasn't changed. Historically, the second is the UK. Easily, UK. Well, the UK has dropped to 6% of our listeners because another country is now second. And are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Vietnam. So, and then number 4 is Bangladesh. And then also in the top 10 is Iraq and Pakistan. So, like, Asia, welcome to the Garden Tart Party.
Welcome. So
Welcome to the Garden Tart Party. Who is in Vietnam? How many of you are watching what?
I know. So anyone watching or listening right now, just drop us a note and say where you come from. Even if you've said it before, we're just gonna
Right.
like the tally of where people are.
Right.
So if just let us know where you are. Just drop a note. That's all you have to do.
Yep. And
How
let's,
you heard about us, maybe.
yeah. And we'd love to know who's in Vietnam. We're South Asia, Southeast Asia. Welcome to the chat. We're glad to
Welcome.
have you here.
We're so happy to have anyone here at all,
I
no matter
know.
where you're from.
So we're going to get nostalgic today. And because this month is what's the math? The 29th anniversary of the opening PopMart show in Las Vegas. It was
It was
April 25th, 1997. We were both there, not together. Um, and then we have a bunch of you had some thoughts about staring at the sun, some memories about that, which just coincidentally is our random song of the week. And then we're just going to get a little nostalgic about kind of how the fandom communicated pre-internet, I guess, pre-now.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll tell you why when we get there, how that came up.
Okay.
So you'll have to wait and I'll tell you how the idea came up.
Okay. So I have a few things about our first PopMart show in Vegas. I have questions. Do you recall how you got your tickets?
No, but I feel pretty confident that Rhonda probably got them for us.
Okay. Where did you stay?
I actually don't know. I flew into LA. Did we drive? We might have driven home back to LA afterwards.
Not like you haven't done it since then.
No.
So I got my tickets from Propaganda.
Okay.
I stayed at MGM Grand. How excited were you? Like, was it like?
No, it was like, I don't know. It was just like, it's all a blur to me.
Yeah.
It's all an absolute blur. I just, when they announced the dates, and my friend Rhonda in LA called me up and was like, I'm going to take you to your first U2 show. And
Yeah.
we're going to fly into LA and we're going to go to Vegas together. And I was like, okay. And I've told this story on here before, but so I was a junior in college and did not have the money to do this. And I called my parents to ask if they would help support this endeavor. And my dad said, I will, under one condition. And that condition was to read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. He's like, if you read that, I'll help you get to Vegas and back. And I was
You
like,
have to
done.
give him like a book report, pop quiz.
He wouldn't even check. He knew I would like it. I don't know if I would have read it otherwise. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That is a crazy piece of work.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but I felt like a young protege, under the wings of the
Yeah.
master, and I just went along with her.
Yeah. So I planned on going to Vegas. Like almost all of like I thought I was going to do Vegas and DC, and that was it. And then I kind of thought maybe I would do Raleigh, but then Raleigh wasn't. Um, they canceled it. So anyway, I got them from Propaganda, and our friend, she was like, if you're going to Las Vegas, you should go to San Diego too. I'm like, okay. And then it kind of the rest of my life has been like that. Like every time I have the same, it doesn't take much convincing, but I mean, like I was gonna go to 2 shows and I ended up going to like 13. So I have this issue a lot of the time, but this was this was the first time I'd ever had it. So like, you travel, you get the tickets, you travel, 2 planes. I had to, get a connecting flight, and then I had to um get from the airport to the hotel and meet up with my friends, and then we went and listened to a couple nights of rehearsals. So when I got there and we got to our spot where we were standing, I just like took a big like exhale. Like it's done.
Yes.
Like hard part here is done.
Uh-huh.
And but I do that a lot. Like I have this, especially when it's in stadiums and stuff. Look and I see the stage. And I'm like, okay, we got to the right place. Like I do it for every show I travel for. Like
Yeah.
it's always like that. Like they're really like I flew here and they're really here.
Right?
And yeah.
And I
So
know, like, your, like, adrenaline's just going, like, for
yeah,
days, and then you get to that spot, and, like, yeah, that big exhale, like,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
So after that trip, I loved Vegas. I hate it now. I just I mean, I go when I have to go, but I hate that city. It's just it's not my vibe anymore. When I was very young, 23, I think, that was great, but,
Yeah.
I ugh, I don't like it. It's just too many people. It's
It's hard to get around.
dirty and expensive, and, I don't need to go there. I'm never going back there for vacation, and I have gone there for vacations before, but, I mean, a show could get me to go anywhere. Um, okay, so when I left the show, I just, like, vividly remember what I was thinking, and that was, "This is what I'm meant to do in this world. I'm meant to follow this band
I love
all
it.
over the place. That's why I'm put in on this earth is to"
Yeah.
yeah, and, but I mean, it's just like, I got that bug right away. Like, I have to go to all of the shows. Anyway, do you have
I
anything
love
else?
so I was today, small sidetrack that will get us back on. I had this lovely office space here at my house, and I don't use it because then when I'm in it, I just feel like I'm drowning in unnecessary things and things left undone. So today I emptied all of it into the next room. I actually tried to rearrange the furniture to see if I could find a fresh like perspective, and how it is what's best. And I'm slowly putting things back in, but it made me look through some old YouTube stuff and I was like, what might I find in here that's Vegas related to remind me to talk about this? And of course, I came across this huge scrapbook I have, and I have like every single article that was printed in Vegas before and the day after in there. I mean, this is like real scrapbook, y'all. But on the first page, there's, and I know you've seen this, Hillary, and I feel like I've shown it on here before, but it's been a hot minute. I have a huge picture from the stands of the PopMart stage, and then I have little arrows going to where I stood for each one. And if I was in a seat, it has like the row and the seat in it. And I realized we changed seats. I didn't realize we moved. So we started field 8, row 15, and ended in field 9, row 1. So I'm guessing 8 and 9, maybe they were next to each, I don't know, but we ended up in the front row of one of the sections on the field. I thought that was kind of funny that I hadn't remembered that. I have such little memories of the show. It was such a blur. It was so exciting. And I mean, yeah, I don't not remember, but there was so much information coming in that I don't think I had any idea how I felt.
Yeah.
I was just constantly processing information, and that I'm like in this same space as my band.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And I think I already had our friend, we had a friend in Pennsylvania. She and I had already planned 3 shows kind of in the Ohio, Pennsylvania area to go to. I think we didn't do Columbus together. I forget, but that was like that's where I got my propaganda tickets, was for those shows that she and I did together there. So LA friend had to have gotten them for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the beginning of the rest of my life.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it was just such a good time.
Actually, and this is funny, another side note that I feel like our listeners might be interested in, and this will also tie into side B a little bit. I was in the car as a passenger the other day with my 8-year-old was driving. Bittersweet Symphony came on her playlist. Uh, that and The Drugs Don't Work. The kids are listening to those 2 songs
Oh,
nowadays. And I was like, I remember exactly where I was the first time I heard this song. And I was so enamored by it. And I thought I would never figure out what it was or if I'd ever hear it again. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, it was at a U2 show in a stadium, and there was no phones. There was no Shazam. There was no iTunes. There was no way to look up music.
right.
And she was like, whoa, what? But yeah, that was in Detroit. But anyway,
I remember I was driving my car to work and I remember it coming on and being like, "Oh my God, I'm never gonna know what this is." And then they said it like,
right? But if you're like just in like at the stands of a stadium and you're like,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like I'm gonna have to search. I'm like, I don't know what. There was no Google.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, obviously it
You
became one
could
of the biggest songs
function
in the
back
world.
then. I don't even know. I can't even imagine how our life was different then. We'll get back to that in a minute though.
Yeah.
So, I know this is kind of far out there, but do you recall what you wore?
So I do have a picture of my friend and I, but the picture is taken in the evening in front of New York, New York. And so I don't know, because I don't remember if we stayed the night. I don't think we did. But if it is that's what I wore the show, I had jeans and the Zoo TV 3 symbol t-shirt.
Interesting.
But that's the only record I have but I also had a hat on. I don't think I would have worn a hat to the show. I don't know. Do you remember what you wore?
You remember because they pretty much wore a different version of the same thing to every show. I had a plaid skirt and a black cap sleeve turtleneck and my Doc Martens.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just felt like I was the stereotypical 90s
You were you were
girl.
cool as cool.
I loved it. I mean, that was a, and then in the winter, I wore a version of the same skirt and I had like a sweater with it. Oh yeah, I had a silver like raincoat that I actually got at I don't remember what it was called. The men's version of like the limited. It was called I don't know. It was a man's.
I don't remember.
I got it in like an extra small or something, and I wore that thing until it literally like
I
peeled.
remember that coat, yeah.
Yeah, I love that coat. I bought a similar one for Joshua Tree in 17, but I don't think I wore that very often. I know I wore it once. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so the thing that I remember most about that show was a little hiccup the band had out on the beat stage. And they were playing a song and it was going very poorly. And I don't remember who stopped playing first. Somebody just gave up and it's like, I
Yeah.
think this may be Adam, I don't know. Somebody gave up and just stopped playing, and then Bono was like, "Sorry, we're having a little row with the family, and, we'll get back to you."
Yeah.
And then they came back and, Bono for the rest of the tour, it was just Bono and Edge, and the song was fine. But that song was
Staring at the Sun.
yeah, which is our random
Random
song.
song of the week.
Really was random too. Like, I had no idea. I knew it was coming up, but I quick pulled it out and I was like,
I
"That's
know
crazy."
it wasn't like so we knew this from last week that this was our random song of the week, and then we were talking about what side A and side B should be, and hours later you were like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, it hit me.
Oh my gosh. So should we go straight into intermission or do you have more Vegas?
Nope, I'm done with Vegas. I'm
Okay.
overdone with Vegas. Yes, intermission.
Um, intermission. So we asked you all thoughts, feelings, memories of staring at the sun, and a lot of you had stuff to say. And we'll just read through them real quick. Derek says that acoustic version, heart eye emoji. That remembers the PopMart tour in Philly, 1997. Kathy says, at first glance, staring at the sun seems like a light summertime song, but I think this song has a much deeper meaning about the challenges in relationships. I've always liked the song off the pop album. I prefer the acoustic version I heard during the E&I tour in 2018. Dawn says, I always thought the song was a metaphor for all the horrible things happening in the world. The videos seem to say the same thing with those KKK men coming out of the woods and those torches. My sister, who was biracial, said to me that racists didn't need masks anymore. And she was right. That seemed to come out of the woodwork. Okay. Robert says, I love staring at the sun. I've seen you two at least 45 times since 1983. Nice. And in their opening gig for the Pop Mart tour in Las Vegas, they actually screwed up halfway and had to start again. It's on YouTube somewhere. Oh, yep, we were there, Robert. Book says, I like that song. Believe it or not, Pop is my least favorite U2 album. It does have some good songs, but it came out at a time in my life when I was kind of depressed. So unfortunately, I don't have very good memories from back then. But that's one song I do like. I was in my mom's car and I said, all right, it's about time U2 came out with a new album, and I ended up getting it a few weeks later, and I have grown to like it a little bit more than I used to. There are some great songs on there. Garden Tart Amanda says, infinitely quotable song.
Yep,
I'm like, you can always answer, we're not the only ones.
yep,
That's an answer to everything.
yeah,
David says, I love this song. I prefer the album version versus the best of 1990 to 2000, as I don't think that really improved over the original. The live version on the Pop Heart EP was great too. Steve says, found it quite dull on Pop. Loved hearing them play it live. So much more verve. Evie says, song with a very underrated and misunderstood album. Got two more. Nick says, been whistling it all day. And Feldstein says, great song from the Mighty Pop. One of the three, along with Last Night on Earth and Gone, that should have been in the running for the first single. Great guitar and lyrics on this slyly political tune. Yeah, great stuff, y'all.
yeah. Thank you for
Yeah,
everyone who listens to us and participates.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to say about staring at the sun?
Yeah, there is something I should have said it in the last part, but I'm gonna say it now. I remember at that show when they screwed up Staring at the Sun, I remember, like, feeling good about that, like, this is a real band. This is not like, computers under the stage,
Yeah.
though sometimes it is, but the main music you're hearing is coming from these 4 guys, and I mean,
Right, right.
they clearly screwed up this, and, I just remember being you know, like,
I
happy,
enjoyed
not
it.
like, there's proof that, they're playing their own instruments, and the fact that they changed it so it was just Bono and Edge was kind of genius. I mean,
Yeah,
I I miss Bono playing guitar even though I don't know that he was always playing it, but I missed I
yeah.
missed the motions of Bono playing guitar.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember reading an interview somewhere where he said that he would write most songs, they would use a guitar. So I guess that's a good question. Wonder what he does now.
I don't know.
If he has an instrument that he uses, or I bet you he can do some stuff on a guitar, just not full. I don't know what
Yeah.
his range of motion is, but I feel like I heard him say that he can kind of play it, but not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He can tell us over whiskey and cake how his guitar
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the song for all
Yeah.
the things people said that I loved it. I love it on the album. It just comes to life live and it's always relevant.
So I don't usually like remixes. Like I really, really don't like them. But there is a remix of Staring at the Sun on this single. It's called like Monster Truck or something like
What?
that.
Yeah.
That's such a good remix. Like really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. So side B, so I saw this clip from this comedian that I really like, and I just follow all his stuff. And he was talking about how the internet used to arrive in the mail on a CD.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And that was AOL, basically. America Online. My dad used them as coasters.
You had so many of them. You got
So
them with
many of
everything.
them.
Yeah.
It just made me really think about like the fandom over the years and the fact that we have friends from 30 years ago that the World Wide Web didn't exist yet.
Mm-mm.
Email didn't exist yet. The only way you could access the internet, well, you had to have some kind of modem, but was like in a contained program. You couldn't just surf. That's the other thing he says. We used to call it surfing the web. There was a name for the activity. And at some point, you got to the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But you had to pay for a service. And a lot of people knew America Online. We met on Prodigy, which is before America Online came out. And everything you could access was within that program. And it's just so interesting that a good handful of us ended up on these YouTube message boards, which I think like I don't remember if we had a time limit on Prodigy. Was there only so many hours we could use in a month?
Yeah, and the other thing with that was that at least around here, I did not have sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I did not have a local number to connect to. And I had to pay for long distance. That was the thing then too. On top
Really?
of the allotted minutes I had on Prodigy.
Huh,
So
that's
as soon as
interesting.
I could get off that, I got off that.
And I guess it would be like a DM now, like a direct message or an email. You could only have like what, 10 credits a month or something.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you couldn't like privately chat with people on a regular basis. It was so weird. When did like Wire come around?
I don't remember.
Because then there were like these other, yeah, I don't remember either, but I guess it was through propaganda. And I guess you would learn to sign up for the fan club in the liner notes. And then when you got the propaganda, the fan club stuff, you could then meet, quote unquote, meet other fans by sending each other letters.
Yeah.
And people did it. And now
So,
it's like, and now we're like all over, it's like YouTube's all over the internet. The YouTube fandom's everywhere.
yep, everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so my experience with buying tickets was that I had to go to Mother's Records and Tapes and stand in a line, and I feel like you have to be a little more dedicated and invested, to get out of bed and drive somewhere and stand in a line to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, I know I bought tickets in bed before. I don't remember specifically, but not possible that that has not happened.
Right.
Um, so and the tickets from Propaganda were awful. I mean, most of the time, awful. I know for Vegas, they were from Propaganda, the ones that I got, it was completely 100% obscure. Our seats were behind the mix. Behind
No. Oh my
absolute
God.
Firstly, like, why would anyone put a chair there? Like, that I can't. There
You
was a
don't give
chair.
it to a fan club. But
all
yeah,
my tickets were awful. All my propaganda tickets were awful, awful. But yeah, I mean, but like, who put that chair there?
and said, "This'll do."
Yeah, thinking someone's gonna sit there and not see the show? I mean, why would you put chairs there? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
it was crazy, and they had a table. They didn't, like, communicate this either, but I think I said to somebody was walking around or whatever that worked at the venue, I know, I said to someone, "My tickets are behind this big tent, and I'm not staying there. Like, you
Right.
gotta find somewhere. I mean, set me free, but you gotta find me somewhere else aside from this." And,
Yeah.
they did. I still think they were awful, but I always had problems with propaganda ticket. I mean, it got me in the door, and I'm very thankful for that.
Right.
But yeah,
That's rude.
yeah, crazy. So, yeah, like you were saying, in the 90s, we met friends online. And I was trying to think of who have I met online that's like a friend in person that I've socialized with since 1997. Since then, I only have met like 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 people. I mean, I know people, I know faces or whatever, but I
Right.
don't have them in my phone. I don't, hang out with them um all the time. So I made a list of it. In 2001, Jake and Manda.
Okay.
2009, Elizabeth. 2015, Michelle. And 2018, Becca and Noel.
Okay.
That's it. Like, that's the those are the only friends I've made since 1997. I made plenty of friends that year, but
Right.
those are the only people that I've made friends with. I mean, Melissa, but I actually can't remember the first time I met her. For some reason, I don't have that in my head. But she is a friend who, I met since then, but I actually don't remember specifically when I met her. I think it was like a gradual thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's it. So, I mean, I know you know, people have friends in different places, become friends in different places, but my, like, being at shows, those are the only friends that are in my phone
Yeah.
that I've met in 29 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would
Yeah.
say I would have met people online and then because of this podcast, and then we would meet up in person. We guess at Sphere we did.
Yeah.
And so there are
So
a handful of people that are in my phone on that, but there are a few that I still communicate with.
yeah. So, no,
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I know that I'm not just saying, like, I mean, I've made a ton of friends on with our podcast,
Yeah.
but, like, people I'm just counting, like, people that I've socialized with outside of the YouTube realm and that I have on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was agreeing. Like, I'm saying that all those people, amazing people that
Yeah.
we met in person in Sphere, there's only a handful of them that are in my phone and I would feel comfortable texting right now. Like, it's like when you meet your people, you meet your people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
I think the biggest difference now versus 29 years ago is that we didn't have constant access to information, but we also knew, and this is the big part, we also knew how to keep our mouths shut. So, like, I think that so many people that are around today want to post where you can meet you two, not even caring if they meet you two. They just want the bragging rights to
Right.
get 300 people outside of a building to the point where the band can't come out.
It's ruined
And
for everyone.
that's like we were big on that. People would say, "Who are you waiting for?" We would never tell them who we were waiting for because, like when we were in DC, there were 6 people, 7
If,
people,
if that.
under 10 people that were outside waiting for the band, and they came out, or Adam and Bono did. And then, in '09, we were in Chicago, and we went to see the band and, see where they were staying, and the streets were getting closed, and the band never came out. And
Right.
that right there is the big difference. It's not even just communication, it's just shut up. If you
I
want if you want time, do not tell anybody else. I mean, aside from the people standing with you when you get this information,
right.
do
Your
not
the
tell
trusted
anybody
friends that
else.
you want that experience with.
Yeah. I mean,
You're
we
not helping anyone by sharing it to the internet.
no, no. I mean, that's what I think. Actually think that people realize that, but they want they want
Yeah.
people to think that they're cool because they figure this out. And the other thing is that in a million years, I would never go to the band's hotel anymore. Like, it's a different vibe, but it also in my older years, it's awful that we're invading their privacy,
Yeah.
and I would, like, not ever do that. I would never do that again.
It
Probably.
was a almost spoken agreement that we had with them back in like 97 that
Yeah,
there was a certain way to do it that was respectable and honest and that they welcomed
yeah,
as long as you followed the rules. But now things are so out of control that it just it yeah.
but I guarantee you,
Yeah.
if you find out about something and you do not tell other people, you will likely have quality time. But,
If it's possible, it will happen.
yeah,
But
but I
if
mean,
there's 100 people there, yeah, no.
yeah, but putting it on, Twitter and everywhere, it's just ridiculous, and you're not that cool just for finding it out.
Amen,
Um,
sister.
yeah,
Amen.
yeah, so that to me, that is a very, very big difference of how things were
Yeah.
97 versus it happened so fast too. It was like 97, no one, and then '01, everyone.
Everyone.
Yep,
Yeah. It was crazy. I have a question for Bono over whiskey and cake, but I would like to ask a pre-question. I guess a first question. And I mean, we can, see how the internet has affected his life, just literally because he's all over it. Like, if he's somewhere, people tend to know where he is. But I guess, does he mind? I mean, has he gotten used to it and it's just how life is now? That's my question for him. Or is it awful? What in his life has changed since the internet? Like, how has he had to change habits or traveling or security? Interesting.
yeah. My question is that Pop Mart seemed more jovial than most U2 eras. It felt like everything was more casual than other tours and other tours that we followed.
Right.
Um, so was it? I mean, was it as fun for you as it was for us? Like that year was just absolutely amazing.
So
And I
fun.
mean, it's his job and everything, but like they just seem I mean, we were sitting in a hotel and he walked past the window. Like, that's insane. That would
Right.
never happen today. Like,
Never.
on
Yeah.
his own with security, that would never happen today. So, I don't know. I would like to know, like,
Yeah.
how
Was
did
it
you
fun?
feel? How do you
Yeah.
feel about Pop Mart now, looking back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My initial question for him, Bono, over whiskey and cake is what would it take to bring back some pop songs besides staring at the sun?
Yeah. Please.
Like,
I'd like to, but I think those are the 2 that they would probably go for.
what was the other one?
Please.
Please, yeah, please be very pertinent. Yeah. But it would be great if they had a spot in a show like, oh my gosh, like the All Things Come Back to Taylor Swift. But every night she just picked two different songs
Yeah.
that she had not played yet. And she didn't, not until towards the end did she start repeating things. But one was on guitar and one was on piano. There was nothing else
Yeah.
technology with it. So wouldn't it be great if like every night it was just like they just had one song, or if there were like 10 songs that they
Yeah.
had in their back pocket? And I mean, one of those could easily be discotheque. Like, how hard would that be?
Right. I mean, Bono already knows we're all about boom cha.
Right. All about the boom job.
Yeah.
And with that, it doesn't need to be about the vibe of the storyline of the concert or
Right.
the moment or anything or fit the screen. Like, just that would be great. Even just one song that's
Yeah.
just different every night. Like, what secret song are we gonna get?
Why? Why don't you do that? Like, you have any idea how awesome I mean, the shows are awesome anyway without that. But, like, just to have not know what's gonna happen is so exciting. There's a moment in every show I go to that I am emotional and I cry. And the only thing is, I mean, sometimes it's about a song, sometimes it's about, what's going on in my life, whatever, what's going on in Bono's life
Yeah.
that's, sad. But mostly it's just, I'm going to remember this show forever.
Yeah.
And that to me is so emotional. And yeah, so make it more memorable for people forever,
Yeah.
maybe. I actually do have another question. We do this every week if you're new. Every episode, one or both of us have a question for Bono over whiskey and cake. So, like, in our imaginations, or maybe not, it could happen.
You
If
have
we
an
sat,
audience.
there's a cat butt. Um, if we sat down with Bono, like, how awesome would that be? But you know what? The thing is that I don't think we've asked that question in a while. So, Bono, if you're listening, can we please we'll take you there. You don't have to worry about it. We'll take you out for whiskey and cake.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get whiskey and cake sometime.
We take this out, or maybe not, but so I just had an idea though. When we have like buy me a coffee, we should have a second like donation thing to buy whiskey and cake for Bono.
Yeah, right? Because it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. Might not be his reasoning for it being expensive. We have expensive tastes. So it's likely that if it was just the two of us, it would also be expensive.
Let's also explain this so I can make it a blurb to put in our question over whiskey and cake playlist. So, where did this question for Bond of whiskey and cake idea come from? We were in Nashville on the I&E tour. We were in the hotel bar and drinking whiskey as we do, and it was late at night. And we asked if they had any dessert.
I think we did. We asked if there was any dessert, and he said there might be some pie.
Right. He was like, well, we don't really have dessert, but there was a wedding and they might literally have pie left over. And we're like, bring
Pie.
whatever. Bring whatever. Like, we'll take leftover pie. And the waiter came back with, I think it was 2 plates of the largest slices of cake I've ever seen in my life. And it was goo goo cluster cake. And if you don't know what a goo goo cluster is, it's a mostly Southern candy delicacy. It's Google
Yeah.
it. It's got nuts and caramel, I think, in it, whatever. It was amazing. So we were having whiskey and cake, and somehow that turned into a great idea to invite Bono to.
Yeah.
So
So
someday we would like to recreate our whiskey and Goo Goo Cluster cake scenario and invite Bono and ask him questions.
yes. And now we have how many years is it? We have
6 years of questions. No, yeah,
since 2018.
yeah,
So
7 years of questions. We just don't have
yeah,
them all recorded.
I know. But we need our intern to do that, and our intern for stuffing envelopes is not going to do that one.
No,
Yeah.
no, I feel like that's something we could plug into the AI and it'll pull them for us.
So instead of picking a random song of the week, I have a graphic that you'll see it when this episode comes out, but I want you to pick one album that you would ditch. Like what album you would just take out of their discography. You got to have one. You have to. Like I know it's hard to do, but you have to do it.
Yeah. I'd be
So,
interested to see people say.
me too.
And you don't even need to give an explanation.
Yeah.
Just
I mean if you want to, that would be great, but you don't have to.
also realize that because you're making a choice doesn't mean it's actually going away.
I mean you can't go back in time and
No.
unrelease.
So just you're not actually taking it out of your discography. It's
No.
just it's one that you wouldn't mind never hearing again if you
And
had
it's
to.
not your discography, it's their discography.
Right, right.
That's what I mean, but
When you're like, don't make me choose between my children. Like you're not actually.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. On that note, thanks for coming down memory lane.
Thank you, and keep an eye out for, the album that you gotta ditch.
Yeah. Okay. Love y'all, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
We'll be back next week with more U2ish content.
In the meantime, keep chatting with us on social media at _Garden Tarts.
Sign up for our newsletter at thegardentarts.com and share with your YouTube friends.
You can support us on Patreon, buy me a coffee, and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts.
Kissing Lips and Breaking Hearts, a U2ish podcast with the Garden Tarts, is created, produced, and edited by us, the Garden Tarts.
Intro and outro music by December.
See you next week.